hope that you had a great day. Thank you so much for always keeping it TV47. You know, when you are working with your friends, it is quite lovely, in as much as what we always told, that you actually do not get to choose the people that you work with, but you choose your friends. And by the time you're getting these people to work with them, then you have an option of making them your friends. It's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday evening. My hope is that yours was a nice one. Karibu sana. It is time for TV47 Weekend Edition, and to the point. But today, to the point takes a short break, because then we all understand that we are in that holiday mode. We'll be having a conversation, a different one, sometime next Sunday. But for now, we have to take a look as to what is happening in the world of news. My name is Linda Alela. TV47 Weekend Edition begins right now. Here are the highlights. Tonight, weak pulse expected in the health sector as clinical officers follow doctors' cert and declare their own strike as per midnight. Azimio threatened the return of maandamano if controversial dialogue team report is not implemented in full. And restive festive season as talk of Kenya's economic challenges continue to fester over Easter. TV47 Weekend Edition. Right now, a sign language interpreter is none other than Catherine Simaloi. Lots lined up for you, including this. The Kenya Union of Clinical Officers have announced a nationwide strike as from midnight. Addressing the media from their headquarters in Upper Hill right here in Nairobi, the clinical officers feel that the government has refused to comply with their demands even after issuing a 7-day ultimatum. KUKO chairperson Peterson Washira also criticized the Council of Governors for failing to heed to their grievances and their demands. This comes as the doctors' strike enters day 18.
We are also as frustrated as that patient will be listening to us as we say that we are going on strike from midnight tonight. And the reason as to why we got here is because of the inaction of the Ministry of Health and the Council of Governors.
Clinical officers have decided to send a message to a government they say has turned a deaf ear to their cries for far too long.
This strike action comes after prolonged neglect by the government in addressing critical issues affecting clinical officers.
Led by KUKO chairperson Peterson Washira, the clinical officers outlined the list of grievances and disappointments from the government, with no response even after serving them a 14-day notice.
As Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, we have exhausted all the mechanisms that have been set out in law, and this is a last resort. We don't have any other option.
The collective bargaining agreement of the year 2017 between the doctors and the national government remains a bone of contention between the two entities.
The negotiation for the collective bargaining agreement have been ongoing since 2017 without any meaningful progress. This protracted negotiation period, spanning 2 life cycles of a CBA, is a clear testament to the lack of commitment by the government side.
KUKO also wants the immediate recruitment of 20,000 clinical officers, the Ministry of Health's adherence to 2020 approved internship staff establishment guidelines, as well as the approval of career progression guidelines for clinical officers.
We cannot afford it because currently, as it is, under the SHA, they have taken away the privilege that healthcare workers used to get under a comprehensive cover.
However, the union has also promised to offer services to patients with critical conditions, revealing that Kenyatta National Hospital and Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital will be open for such services.
So for now, because of those who are critical, we are not going to affect Kenyatta and MTRH. But then if the negligence is going to continue, we will have to ask the patients to look for alternatives.
The national doctors' strike registers its 18th day, leaving 4,172 level 2 hospitals, 217 level 3 hospitals, 3,376 level 4 hospitals, and 14 level 5 facilities with no doctors attending to patients countrywide.
All right, the government has warned those behind the supply of substandard fertilizer, saying that their days are numbered. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi on Sunday fired a warning signal, stating that the government will not relent in its quest to comprehensively investigate the matter and culprits will be brought to book and face full force of the law. Mudavadi made the remarks on the matter for the first time amid public outcry in various regions in relation to the Fertilizer Saga. Also speaking in Kaliwa, Teso South constituency, Busia County Public Service and Delivery Management Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria said it was high time farmers get to work, making use of the fertilizer subsidy program rather than get lost on the noise and regret later. The CS said only 2,000 bags of subsidized fertilizer had failed the quality test and had effectively been withdrawn from the market and NCPB stores.
Kwa hii mambo ya fertilizer, kwa sababu nataka nilenge direct. We are telling the National Cereals and Produce Board, do not delay, because you know, if you follow the supply chain properly, you know, munajua, which consignment was brought in by who out of this fertilizer. Musizungushe watu kwa muda mrefu, because you know. And as Arion said, let us make sure that the law follows these people so that they are charged in a court of law and prosecuted so that they don't bring messes in the food security area.
Tuko na makampuni 6 ambao wanaleta mbolea. Kando ya hiyo, out of the 6, kampuni 5 fertilizer yao imedhibitishwa haina shida. Kampuni kamoja kanaitwa keke Mozambique, kitu kama hiyo, magunia 2,000 ndio ilipatikana na makosa. Mimi kama waziri wa serikali nataka kukubali ya kwamba kampuni moja fertilizer yake hata ipofanywa utafiti ikapatikana iko na makosa, na ni magunia 2,000 peke yake, na tukaika kwa soko. Mimi nataka kuwauliza watu wa Busia, sasa tunaambiwa msichukue fertilizer, kwanza hata tutatue hii maneno. Ni sawa, tutatatua. Na kwa hiyo kampuni moja ya magunia 2,000 tutachukua hatua.
Secretary na wageni wetu na Excellence the Governor kuita kwamba ukaongoze viongozi wetu na wageni wetu.
Now, at least 3 suspected bandits were killed in a fierce shootout with the security officers at Loima in Turkana. The dramatic confrontation that happened Saturday evening at Kangalita in Kalemnyang also saw the recovery of an AK-47 rifle. Among those killed, police say are notorious bandits who have been on the police radar for multiple violent crimes. As Lennox Sengre with the details.
The trio, who are believed to have staged numerous attacks in the North Rift on Saturday, fired their guns for the last time and received their reckoning in the rough justice in the hands of the police. According to the detectives privy to the shootout, the 3 suspects have been identified as 37-year-old Simon Lopongorei, a 39-year-old Lokuch Angeruk, aka Sharpshooter, and their 21-year-old accomplice Tia Logumo.
Na kitu kama baada ya masaa 6 hivi, hao walivyo walipatikana zaidi ya ngambo huko, sehemu ya Kangalta. na walipatikana na waliweza kulazwa chini. Walikuwa na silaha bunduki mbili na pia hizo bunduki zilichukuliwa.
Police described Lopongorei as a notorious bandit, a gang leader with 3 pending court cases linking him to violence, gang rape, and allegations of threatening to kill.
Hawa wajambazi ni wale criminals kubwa sana hapa Turkana, tena kwa hii sehemu yetu. Tunaimisa serikali ya Kenya wafuatilie karibu mpaka sote wanase.
The second accomplice, Lokuch Angeruk, who was identified as Lopongorei's aide, is linked to killing a police officer at Kangalita area 3 years ago. He is also believed to have been behind 2023 attack on the Longorum area OCS, causing him actual body harm.
Hakuna haja tunakaa na wanyang'anyi ambaye si mzuri. Tunastahili tuwe na amani na tukae na amani. Hao wakora ni wale wenye wanaenda kunyang'anya watu mifugo kila mahali, si hata hapa hivi saizi peke yake. Wanaenda mpaka hata Uganda, wanaenda hata sehemu zingine Kakuma, wapi huku kwa mabarabara pia wanatega watu ambaye hakuna usalama.
The bodies of the deceased have since been moved to Lodwar County Referral Hospital pending postmortem examination.
Sisi hata vile sasa tunatembea kwa msituni. Tunatembea tu na Mungu. Kwa sababu mtu akishika bunduki sasa hakuna sasa utafanya namna gani? Si wewe utauliwa tu. Ndio tunasema serikali asaidie kwa njia ile ambaye atakumbuka vile ataokoa sisi kwa hiyo mambo.
The killing of the trio came a day after President William Ruto, during a meeting in Kilgoris, with the security heads, assured the nation that peace will be restored in the North Rift. Lennox Sengre for TV47.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya has now threatened to go back to the streets if President William Ruto's government will not implement the National Dialogue Committee report as agreed by both factions, that is in a bid to stabilize Kenya's economy. Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka perhaps claims that Kenya Kwanza coalition members are blocking the NADCO findings and called for the intervention from the two leaders of both coalitions, as Mike Gungo reports.
The Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition has emerged with guns down at Kenya Kwanza legislators for allegedly blocking the National Dialogue Committee's report implementation. Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka Sunday morning came out swinging, saying plans were being made to thwart the NADCO report's implementation during the BAMBA negotiations.
Mtu anajitokeza ameundwa properly, aelekee mahakama huko Kiambu, asimamishe ripoti ya NADCO, na hali ripoti yenyewe ni property ya bunge.
The Kiambu High Court put a hold on the NADCO report's execution 2 days ago until activist Michael Mushemi's lawsuit was heard and decided. The court's appeal to stop the implementation of the NADCO report, according to Musyoka, was supported by Kenya Kwanza, who are adamant about being the sole decision makers to choose new IEBC commissioners.
Nia yao ni kujaribu wakimbize mambo yao, iwe ni Kenya Kwanza peke yao ambao watakaounda tume mpya ya IEBC. Hilo halikubaliki.
We can see the fingerprints of the deep state, of the system, on this legal roadblock that has been placed in the way of the implementation of the BAMBA's document.
Meanwhile, the Communist Party of Kenya has denounced the opposition and the government for taking advantage of Kenyans and then turning their backs on them once their goals are met. National Organizing Secretary Boka Ngesa Mole asserted that former Prime Minister Raila Odinga had abandoned the agenda of the people after accepting the chairmanship of the African Union, branding the National Dialogue Committee as a fraudulent document that violates the Constitution.
The heroes in this country are not the Communist Party leaders. The heroes in this country are the poor people who get out every day to expand this political and democratic space, and they end up sacrificing their all. That means they martyr in the street.
The request that the application be heard by inter-parties on April 16 has since been sent to the parties, who have been instructed to provide their respective written submissions within 7 days of the exchange of responses. Mike Kagwanga, TV47, Nairobi.
We cannot force people to come before this.
Still on politics, and Orange Democratic Movement ODM party leader Raila Odinga has asked leaders to stop ethnic and regional campaigns for his imminent successor, as it could divide the party base. Raila also asked leaders aspiring to succeed him as ODM party leader to go slow, as he was still the party leader, and likened them to men who want to inherit a widow whose husband is still alive. The former Prime Minister was reacting to calls by Coast ODM leaders who had asked him to give former Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho a chance to succeed him if Odinga wins the African Union Commission chairperson post.
Sisi kama watu wa Magharibi, sisi kama watu wa Nyanza, kama watu wa Nairobi, watu wa Pwani, wewe ni mwanachama wa ODM, kama mwanachama wa ODM, na kama ODM nataka kufanya uchaguzi, watafanya uchaguzi kama ODM. Ukileta hiyo fikra ya kugawanya chama kwenye msingi ya maeneo, utasambaratisha chama. ODM ibaki vile iko, the strongest and most organized political party in East and Central Africa region.
Wapwani watakwambia kwa chaguo lao wale ambao kwamba washaamua. Katika wa kwanza kushika mikrofoni na kusema ya kuwa anaifaa kuvaa viatu vyako, hata kama vitakuwa ni vikubwa, tutamweka ile soksi na kumweka makaratasi, ni Hassan Ali Joho.
Hiyo pati ya ODM, baada wewe baba umekwenda pale juu, sasa tunasema hapa chini sisi sote. Ikifika wakati huo, mazungumzo tutakayofanya hapa Pwani, tutakayofanya huko Western, tutakayofanya huko Kisii, tutakayofanya huko Kikuyuni, tutakayofanya katika Kenya nzima, itakuwa sisi tunauza sura ya mtoto wetu Ali Hassan Joho.
All right, road safety was the order of the day, as one among the 11 victims of the bus accident involving students of Kenyatta University was buried in Makueni County. Michael Muteti has been buried at his family home in Mtito Andei, Makueni County. Muteti was eulogized as a selfless student.
Sorrow and grief in this village in Mtito Andei area, Makueni County, as relatives, the community, fellow students and friends gathered to give their last honor to Michael Muteti, one of the students who lost his life in the accidents involving a lorry and the Kenyatta University bus. All that gathered eulogized Muteti as a selfless student. Speaking at the burial ceremony, Makueni County Senator Dan Maanzo took the opportunity to call on the university leaders to ensure that their vehicles are in a good condition, further warning against drivers who drive while under the influence of drugs and alcohol.
Hivyo basi na university na kuweka challenge tuhakikisha kwamba tuna madereva wa kutosha, na madereva ambao hawana mchezo, na madereva ambao hawakuli pombe au hawatumii dawa yoyote ya kulevya ambayo inaweza hatarisha maisha ya wananchi. In the send-off ceremony, the MC in Zambani ward, Harrison Mutie, spoke against leaders involved in border row politics between Makueni County and Taita Taveta about Mtito Andei. Tangia nikiwa mtoto mdogo, mahali nimesimama Mtito Andei iko Makueni County. Yes. Police station iliyoko pale ina report county commissioner Makueni. Yes. Commandant na shule ambayo iko pale wote wanaripoti Makueni County. Yes. Wafanyikazi wa serikali wanaofanya pale kwa hospitali wote wanaripoti Makueni County. Yes. Wanachief wali hapa wote wanaripoti Makueni. Itakuwaje leo hii Mtito Andei iko Taita Taveta? Maureen Kadi reporting for TV47.
May his soul rest easy. Now, in the spirit of Easter, Kenyans turned out in large numbers across various churches in the country to celebrate Resurrection Sunday with a call for unity, hopefulness, and to restrain from hesitation and standing for what is good. Religious leaders across the country have called on the government to look into the issues ailing the country and paralyzing the running of various sectors. And of course, this is the report that we have prepared for you.
Easter, Pascha, or Resurrection Sunday is celebrated to mark the resurrection of Jesus Christ. 3 days after his crucifixion on Good Friday, the Christian festival celebrates the triumph of life over death. And as Kenyans join the rest of the world in celebrating this important day in the Christian calendar, religious leaders and politicians alike have expressed concerns regarding the state of events in the country, including the doctors' strike that continues to paralyze the health sector for 3 weeks now. Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Nyeri, Anthony Mohere, in his Easter message, called for a swift resolution to prevent further loss of lives, further extending the Catholic Church's readiness to support in finding a solution, emphasizing the importance of prioritizing the sanctity of life.
It is sad when we use human life as a negotiating currency. It is true our doctors have got many reasons, and in fact, they have maybe a worthy cause for their remuneration and their consideration, including our interns who are not placed. But at the same time, we see this long strike, and our worry is that the ones who lose our lives.
In a related development, Bishop David Muriithi of the Anglican Church of Kenya Diocese of Embu echoed the call for dialogue to end the stalemate in the healthcare sector. Speaking during an Easter Sunday service, Bishop Muriithi emphasized the irreversible nature of life, urging doctors to prioritize saving lives despite the challenges they face.
The way to go is to embrace dialogue so that this country can be able to move. So we ask those who are in authority, dialogue with the doctors so that humanity in this country may not continue suffering.
And at the St. Paul's Catholic Church in Bungoma County, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, urged farmers to seize the opportunity presented by the rainy season to boost agricultural production. Wetangula emphasized the critical role of farming in addressing the high cost of living, urging farmers to increase their efforts in food production.
Mvua imeanza kunyesha. Unajua tuko na bahati kubwa sana. Wakati tulipiga kura, nchi ilikuwa imepata kiangazi ya miaka 2.5. Gorogoro ya mahindi hapa Bungoma ilikuwa 280. Siku hizi nikisimama na vijana hapa barabarani wananiambia, "Papa, ukinipa 100, gorogoro sasa ni 70, 80, nitarudi nyumbani na gorogoro na umeme."
Further, the leaders have called for respect for sacred spaces and events, including burials, cautioning against commercializing and politicizing religious spaces during and after these celebrations. Anne Odida, TV47.
Thank you, Anne, for that. Now, the Nairobi County government has provided interdenominational choirs with a platform to display their abilities and spread Easter cheer as Christians continue to celebrate the holiday. In the Battle of the Choirs competition, 45 choirs from 17 Nairobi sub-counties will compete for cash prizes based on their performance.
As Christians continue celebrating Easter holiday, the Nairobi County government provided a platform for the interdenominational choirs to showcase their talents. 45 choirs representing 17 sub-counties in Nairobi have secured their spot in the competitions, where the winning teams will pocket 2 million, 1 million and 500,000 shillings respectively. According to the Chief of Staff for Culture and Arts, Clement Rapudo, the platform provides motivation for the good work by choirs that have been in existence.
We here are trying to give these choirs a platform that they've never had. Bring people to KICC, giving them a proper stage, giving them proper equipments to showcase and see and learn more about music, learn about scores, music scores and all those things.
Additionally, Patrick Ogubi of St. Gregory the Great Choir terms the competition as a challenger series to improve on their skills.
Sisi tunaimba pale kanisani, na kupitia kwa hii Battle of Choir imetupatia platform, tunajulikana nje kwa Afrika Mashariki na Kenya mzima. Hii ni mara yetu ya kwanza kuperform kwa hii Battle of Choir, na itatupatia exposure tunaona kwaya zingine wanavyoimba na tuna improve uimbaji wetu.
Fiona Aching, TV47.
All right, interesting. Of course, we're looking forward to see who takes the lead. Now, as an assessment of life skills and educational attainment among young learners in Kilifi, Bungoma, and Kitui counties revealed concerning gaps that show a worrying picture. Well, apparently, a major portion of students cannot read, write, or count properly. The study conducted by Zizi Afrique Foundation incorporated learners aged 13 to 17 years. Of those who were assessed at the end line, only 56% and 46% could read a story in Kiswahili and English, respectively, as Andrin Kilemi tells us.
In a bid to enhance competencies among learners, Zizi Afrique Foundation implemented a project across selected villages in Kilifi, Bungoma and Kitui counties to evaluate the reading, numeracy and writing capabilities among students aged 13 to 17 years.
Badala ya kutembea tu in village, wanakaa soko, wanakaa idle, this camp has helped them very much. Kwa sababu that time ya kutembea wanakuja camp, tunakaa na wao, tunasoma, wanakuwa busy, tunawapatia homework, pia tunawapatia storybook, wanaenda nayo nyumbani. At the end, tunajikuta watoto sasa wamekuwa committed. Ikifika tu saa 9 wanajua tunaenda class, hakuna kwenda kucheza.
Shockingly, the assessment revealed that out of the 15,000 students assessed at the baseline, only 52% could read a story in Kiswahili. Of those assessed at the end line, only 56% and 46% could read a story in Kiswahili and English, respectively.
One of the things we are also realizing is how much this disconnect exists between the school and the community. So learning, yes, happens at school, but is rarely supported or complemented within the community.
The assessment was carried out by a team of youthful volunteers who underwent 6 months of training before engaging in the evaluation process. They were trained to assess children's life skills, including communication, critical thinking, and problem solving.
The energy and the resource we have in our youths in these communities, if you're really able to activate and equip them with the tools that they require to lead and champion change, I think we would witness a lot of traction towards community change, not only in the area of learning, but even in the area of just development, broadly speaking.
However, not all children enrolled in the camps completed the 30 days in the learning camps. Teachers addressed inconsistency in attendance as a primary challenge encountered in their endeavors to improve education levels in rural areas.
Challenge number 1 ilikuwa hiyo ya absenteeism. But vile tulienda tukacollaborate na walimu na venye tumekuwa tukifanya parental visitation, imetusaidia at least hiyo kesi ya absenteeism imeteremka chini.
A call has now been made for more parental engagement in learning, and especially for the male parents and guardians, as they control resources that could be invested to enrich the learning environment at home. Andrin Kilemi, TV47.
Now, stakeholders in the coastal region tourism sector are beaming with pride as young people with barista and mixology abilities graduated after intense training, taking advantage of opportunity to enter the tourism industry. And as the training scheme benefited local youth with the required skills, that is with the new graduates pleading with the government to acknowledge their profession and implement policies and regulations that validate their services, even with the nation's efforts to eradicate the use of illicit brew.
So we are educating our students and our youths in Kenya about the importance of coffee, and we are showing them that you can earn a living. Hii ni kosa ambaye ukimaliza kuhitimu unaweza hata fungua restaurant yako, and for the rest of your life hauwezi kosa kazi.
Many years Coastarians have actually appreciated coffee,
but we've been having it in very small quantities. We are thankful for the government who has helping and lending hand to us. We are appreciating it because it's creating more job opportunities.
It's a course that a lot of people have not ventured into, so getting a job, it's really going to be quick.
Well, congratulations to them. It is now time that we take a quick short break, 28 minutes past the top of the year, where we still have more lined up for you, so don't you go anywhere.
Na safari hii katika Mfahamu Kiongozi tutakuletea viongozi aina mbalimbali.
Nikuwe na Nisani kama 10 na pia nikuwe menua minibus. Minibus nikoniwa.
Kushinda unaangalia simu ya mzee. Soma Biblia ama ingia kwa washroom ujisugue. Mpaka nimetoa hivi.
I don't know whether any of my children would want to get into the political field. Sijajua bado.
Kila Alhamisi saa 1:30 kuendelea.
Join us on a journey through the concrete jungles and rising skylines, where every beam, every nail tells a story of progress and vision.
In every aspect of life, you have to look at several dynamics.
From groundbreaking.
Nowadays with the tech, you can check on different websites or you check online and you can see some inspiration. So at least that one would be a direction already. I'll know like what kind of style you're going for.
To finishing touches, witness the dedication of the hard-working teams who bring these ambitious dreams to reality. The Realtor, Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m.
Welcome back to the broadcast. TV47 Weekend Edition continues as well. Thank you so much for your feedback. Lots of them just wishing us a beautiful Easter holiday as we look forward to enjoy tomorrow some more. Lots lined up for you, some more. Let's get to see what we still have in store, and transport and business activities along the busy Mumias-Busia Road were temporarily disrupted after police engaged in running battles with residents at Koyonzo Market today. The younger residents who turned in numbers protesting over insecurity in the area, where 2 night guards were killed by robbers last night, confronted the police officers before storming the Koyonzo police station and destroying police cars and other property. Led by Shadrach Mutola and Lawrence Ochieng, the enraged residents accused police for sleeping on the job, urging the government to transfer all of the officers in the area. Kakamega County Police Commander, that is Joseph Kingeni, also confirmed the incident, saying they have commenced investigations into the matter, urging locals to desist from taking law in their hands.
Hii marisasi ya nini? Mtu alikuwa anafanya nini? Mtu alilia mtu yake mliua. Ni kwa nini kumpiga watu marisasi? Mimi, waona mimi. Siendi huko. Mbili ndani na beba. Hauna wewe, serikali wewe.
Tumehuzunika sana, watu wawili wameuawa, ambapo ni soja wa hapa. Na mali kaporwa. Na hii tunaamini kwamba maaskari wa hapa wako concerned.
So asubuhi officers walijaribu kwenda kuondoa mwili, ndio wananchi wakajaribu kuzuia wasitoe mwili, na ndiposa wananchi wakakuja wakachukua sheria mikononi mwao, wakakuja wakaharibu kituo hiki cha polisi. Na kuharibu kituo sio suluhisho. Kama jambo limetokea, tujue shida imetokea wapi, kama ni nani amelalia kazi yake, tuone hatua ya vile tutachukua. Lakini kuharibu mali kiasi hii si jambo la busara. So ningeomba wananchi wasiwe na hasira kiasi hiki, kiasi ya kwamba tunafanya hasara zaidi ya kile kimefanyika.
All right, and at this very point, I think a bit of what is happening in the world of sports. The last 3 days, Naivasha has played host to the World Rally Championship that is considered as world toughest. Though hundreds of thousands of rally fans flocked to the lakeshore town of Happy Valley, Naivasha, that is for the spectacular event, there are myriad of flip sides that are affiliated to the event. Our reporter Willie Dennis Jiru paints insight into this event.